Let's talk about open houses. Should I do an open house? The first question I want to ask you is, why do we do open houses? Is it for us to get business? Is it for the seller to feel like you're working hard in trying to sell their home? Is it because we're lazy and we don't want to lead generate? So let's walk through this. So the answer is yes, yes, and yes, all the way through. Let's go through the first one. Why do we do the open house? Well, we do it, number one, from my point of view, is because I want the seller to feel like we're doing business. Now, does that mean it needs to be me doing the open house? When I first started real estate, yeah, it was. Because I felt like I could pick up business from it, and I felt like that was the best way for me to pick up business. And I'm going to tell you right now, bad move. Don't do open houses. Why? Let's talk about it. So let's go to the main thing that most of you guys are thinking. Do an open house a week. Do an open house every 2 or 3 a week. Now, what are you expecting when you're doing an open house? I can tell you what's guaranteed is you're going to set a time frame from 1 to 3 p.m. or from 11 to 1 that you're going to sit inside a house. That's what's guaranteed. Now, what's good about it is you can knock the whole neighborhood and say, hey, I just listed this house. We're going to do an open house. Do you know anybody else who would be interested in buying in this neighborhood? Okay, so you're going to try and find a buyer that way. But in reality, the open house itself, what are you guaranteed? Now, what you're guaranteed is to sit there from the time frame that it is open. Whether people come in or not, you can't close the door. Okay? I, for one, have fallen asleep at an open house. And someone opened the door, was like, whoa, man, hey, how you doing? Now, that being said, holy waste of time. Get someone to do the open house for you. Split the commissions with them of someone they pick up. Now, why I say that is because this one main thing. Can you determine how many people come in an open house? We can't. We don't know how many people are going to show up. So that being said, if you can't determine the number of people you get in front of, the number of contacts you're going to make, don't do it. So if you got door knocking, if you got cold calling, can you keep knocking? Can you find houses that have people there, see signs of life, knock on and get live contacts? Absolutely. Whereas in an open house, you're sitting there, you're waiting. So don't take the time to do an open house. And oftentimes you get people that come into the open house that have real estate agents. And the real estate agents are not with them. And it's like, oh my gosh, people, your agent's not with you. You're here looking at this on your own. What kind of agent do you have? But will they switch? No, most of them signed a buyer broker agreement. So that being said, make sure you're spending your time wisely by knocking the neighborhood. And I would knock the neighborhood as soon as I take the listing until the time I do the open house. When do you run an open house? I run my open houses 3 or 4 days after the listing has posted, and I do no showings. So think about that for a minute. Why in the world would you do that? So I take my listing, I post it, allow no showings for 3 to 4 days, and then I have an open house to start it. It creates bidding wars. In a seller's market, it creates tons of bidding wars. In a buyer's market, it creates more attention. And it gets the person sitting in that open house more exposure. More exposure also makes your seller feel like they've had a benefit, that this agent's doing their jobs. And pitch that in your strategy. As you're giving your value proposition to your seller for the listing appointment, say, hey, I do a delayed open house. Let me talk to you about that. Here's what I do. I'm going to list your house. I'm going to get it out on all these websites. I'm going to let people know that we're going to hold an open house. And then I hold it for 2 to 3 hours because I want as many people as I can to get through there. And when there's a lot of people coming through there, sir, ma'am, what do you think happens? Well, it creates a competitive environment. People are listening to the other people say, oh man, we like this. Man, what do you think we could get this for? I think we're writing an offer. And when other people hear all those gestures, it creates the right environment for you to be able to make more money. So delayed open houses are a must. Now, where should you post those? Well, first of all, you shouldn't be posting them anywhere. You should have an administrative assistant posting them on your local classified ads. They should go on Facebook. They should go on Instagram. The other thing you should do in an open house, which most agents don't, and this is a big no-no for you, shoot a live video through your house. Make sure your clients know that you're going to go live on social media and put this through the open house so that people can see it. How many people are on their phones? How many people are doing social media? Ask them those questions. How much time are people spending on social media and on their phones? So what I do is I go ahead and shoot a video, and I'm going to walk through and showcase your house to everybody out there. I'm going to go live, and I'm going to show this house to everybody around so that they can see we're doing an open house, show them the features, the benefits of this house, and it's going to get a ton of exposures, okay? Run ads. Make sure that you're getting a ton of attention. But once again, that's the only reason I'm going to show up to a house like that, and I'm not going to do it during the open house. I'm going to do it ahead of time. But if you're the one still doing the open house against what I'm telling you right now, guys, then go shoot a video. Stay there. But my advice would be, don't do open houses. Don't spend your time sitting somewhere where you're not guaranteed to go get in 30 or 40 contacts. I think a really good open house, you're going to talk to 5 to 7 people in 2 or 3 hours. And at that point, if they come in a rush, let's say that you get 2 or 3 families in at once, can you really sell your value proposition of why to use you? Are you able to pitch them anything you want to pitch them as you're going through? No, you're not. You're busy chasing them around to make sure their kids aren't getting into the cookies, knocking the glasses off the shelf, jumping on the beds, and you're just playing defense rather than offense. And if you can't play offense, why are you there? Right? You can accomplish the same thing. And let me tell you this. If you were to say to your seller, I've got a staff that comes in and helps with all this. I've got one that markets, does all the marketing for your open houses. I've got another agent that comes in and sits the open house. And then I'm going to get all the details about the open house, who came through, what they thought of the place, and I'm going to get all that back to you tonight at the end of the open house. How professional do you sound? You're a baller. You are definitely someone they want to work with, because if you're marketing, you're door knocking, you're sitting the open house, you're giving all the feedback, how busy are you? How professional are you? And how much do they feel like they can, trust you because of the volume you do? Now, people love experienced agents because they have assistants and they have staff that work with them. To find someone to sit your open house is the easiest thing on the planet. Post it in a real estate group. Hey, I'm looking for someone who wants to sit an open house for me. Any leads you get off of that, I'll keep 50%. It's going to be a banging open house. We're doing a ton of marketing for it. I'm going to door knock the neighborhood around it. So if you don't have business, come and sit this open house. It is the easiest way to get someone to come and sit the open house, either from your brokerage or from Facebook groups of real estate agents. So open houses, yes, do them. You do them? No, don't do them. Find someone else that will do them for you, and that will help your business take off to a new level. Go find 5 more listings as you're out there doing that open house, and then pick up some buyers that someone else is taking care of for you. Thanks for watching today, you guys, and hope you picked up a few tips and tricks that are going to change your business when it comes to open houses.